but then when you got sent back to class and you weren't in trouble, you were kind of like relieved, like, oh, thank goodness I didn't get in trouble. Now my mom is not gonna be mad at me, right?
Is she?
No.
Um,
Yes.
they said that she'll call your parents and then you can still get in trouble.
Yeah,
He gets
but if you didn't do anything, then you probably aren't gonna get in trouble. Okay. So yesterday you started reading the book Thank You, Mr. Falker. Today I'm going to read a few more pages of the book to you, and after each page we will stop to discuss the character's feelings. And I will write a feeling word on a sticky note at the bottom of the page, okay? Alright. In first grade, Trisha sat in a circle with the other kids. They were all holding Our Neighbor, their first reader, sounding out letters and words. They said bleh, bleh, oi, boy, and la, look. The teacher smiled at them when they put all their sounds together and got a word right. When Trisha looked at the page, all she saw were wiggling shapes. And when she tried to sound out words, the other kids were laughing at her. Trisha, are you looking at, what are you looking at in that book, they'd say. I'm reading, she'd say back to them. But her teacher would move on to the next person. Always, when it was her turn to read, her teacher had to help her with every single word. And while the other kids moved up into the second reader and third reader, she stayed alone in Our Neighborhood. Trisha began to feel different, but she began to feel dumb. So how do you think that Trisha feels? Jonathan, can you raise your hand? Jonathan, how do you think she feels?
Sad.
Why do you think that she feels sad?
It's not funny.
Okay, so raise your hand if you think that Jonathan is right that she feels sad. Okay, all right, raise your hand if you could tell me why you think she feels sad. Empress.
Because she can't read.
Yeah, because she's having a really hard time reading. All right, why else might she feel sad? Tristan, what else happened on this page that might make her feel sad?
People been laughing at her.
Yeah, because they were laughing at her. What if you were really trying to read and people started laughing at you? Would you feel happy? Yes, frustrated. Did you hear Rosa?
What?
She says she would feel frustrated.
I would
I feel mad.
Yeah.
I want to.
All right. So I liked Rosa's word. That was a really good word, Rosa. All right. So I like the word frustrated. Do y'all like the word frustrated?
No.
No? All right, raise your hand if you like the word frustrated. Raise your hand if you like the word sad. All right, we got a lot of votes for frustrated. All right, so we're going to go with frustrated.
We should got to me
All right, so on this page she felt frustrated. Like that. Okay, let's see what happens on this page. The harder words got for the little girl, the more and more time she spent drawing. How she loved to draw, or just sitting and dreaming, or when she could, going for walks with her grandmother. One summer day, she and her grandmother were walking together in the small woods behind the farm. It was twilight. The air was sweet and warm. Fireflies were just coming up from the grasses. As they walked, Trisha said, "Grandma, do you think I'm different?" "Of course," her grandma answered. "To be different is the miracle of life. You see, all of those fireflies, everyone is different." "Do you think I'm smart, Trisha?" Trisha didn't feel smart. Her grandma hugged her. You are the smartest, quickest, dearest little thing ever. Right then, the girl felt safe in her grandmother's arms. Reading didn't matter so much. So how do you think that Trisha feels on this page? Jason.
Feel like she's something. Feel like she's happy.
Yeah, she's happy. Does anyone else think? Did anyone else think of a different word? Nathan.
She feels better.
Yeah, she feels better. She feels a lot better than when she was like really frustrated and upset on this page when people were making fun of her and she was having a hard time reading, right? Empress, what word did you think of?
She feels delighted.
Delighted. That's a good word. Alright, so who likes the word delighted? We already have happy up here.
What does that mean? It means like
Delighted means like, yeah, it means happy. That's a really good word.
I ain't giving no vote.
Alright, so let's go with the word delighted. Alright, so we found on this page that Trisha was really frustrated because she was having a really hard time reading. Okay? But then on this page, just by turning the page, just by reading this little bit, she was delighted, as Empress said. She was happy. She felt much better, right? Alright. So now, Miss James, do you want it in a different color or anything?